What is it, boy? Are you chasing squirrels again? Come back here, heel.
Hello new roommate, my name is Raj. I have been relocated here from the south.
Great. I heard you were coming. Come in and sit down. I am Sam. There is something about some children coming in from the south like you said you did. I am having a party later. We are having a pig roast and girls of course. Would you like to come?
No, I am sorry, I am not allowed to eat pork because of my religion. Thanks anyway.
Okay, well we will get together at some point with some girls. I will fix you up. Just wait and see. Hello, this is I am Quisling for WBAN Arnold News. There is a developing situation with the surge of unaccompanied children on the Texas and Arizona borders. A militia group is near the border to stop the children from entering the U.S. The militia calls itself the Omega Militia and is setting up along the border to try to turn back the waves of children coming from Central America. The immigrants, as we call them, are soliciting donations and attempting to help out the border guards in turning the children back to their home countries. In the meantime, Senator Ted Cruz of Texas is skeptical of a bill requested by President Obama, $3.7 billion, which Cruz says will extend the run of Central American children indefinitely. Protests against immigration are starting to boil over, as Tuscaloosa, Michigan citizens are angrily protesting against immigrant children in their state. "I want them to go home where they came from," said Julie Blossom Hunt, 48, of Vassar, one of several dozen people who were protesting plans to bring in the children. "I'm a big believer in going to their home countries, and ministering to them, and helping improve their quality of life for them and for their future." This report is from Tuscaloosa Today. In related news from the Wall Street Journal, Governor Hyneman of Nebraska is complaining about the lack of information concerning immigrant children being placed in his state. Only 200 children are being placed in his state, but the governor is upset at the lack of information that he is receiving about the children. In the Rio Grande Valley, an endless wave of refugees is flooding across the valley, according to Fox News. A child from El Salvador said that the guards would be out there for a long time because there are thousands there. "I personally hope that Americans will open their hearts and homes to these deserving children. We will keep you updated on this story as it progresses." This is I am Quisling for WBAN Arnold News.
Hello, this is Cindy Shing for WBAN News. I am standing outside of an immigrant detention center in Arizona where many of the beautiful children have been taken. As near as I can tell, there are several hundred of these sweet, innocent children in the buildings behind me. The border guards all say that these are the most charming kids that they have ever seen. The authorities are saying that after these children are processed, they will be moved in with relatives inside of the United States in various cities. I am Cindy Shing for WBAN News.
Hello, Americans. This is the voice of the Omega militia. I am speaking to you from the hills. Many of what you are calling children at the border are not children at all. We are seeing MS-13 and other gang members coming in. They are aligned with ISIS and other militant Islamic groups. This is not bigotry against children of color like you have been told. Your country is in danger. You have to wake up now before it is too late. Our messages will be short to limit the ability of the government to track us. The purpose of this briefing is to introduce the primary threats to the United States in terms of terrorism. The biggest threat is Christian evangelism. Christians in the United States have proven time and time again that their religious preferences are based on extremist ideology. They preach intolerance of homosexuals and Muslims. They are a much greater threat than Muslim extremists, the Ku Klux Klan and so forth. As soldiers you must stay vigilant at all times to the Christian threat. Now we will play a slideshow of the Christian extremists and their views.
Many events have been taking place across the country. Just want to ensure everyone is somewhat educated on some of the groups out there that do not share our Army values. When we see behaviors that are inconsistent with Army values, don't just walk by. Do the right thing and address the concern before it becomes a problem. We need to make sure that we maintain our standards, starting with reception and integration. Domestic hate groups. Anti-gay, anti-immigrant, anti-Muslim, black separatist, Christian identity, Ku Klux Klan, neo-Confederate, neo-Nazi, patriot movement, racist skinhead, sovereign citizens movement, and white nationalist. Domestic hate groups by ideology, in alphabetical order: anti-gay. Opposition to equal rights for gays and lesbians has been a central theme of Christian right organizing and fundraising for the past 3 decades, a period that parallels the fundamentalist movement's rise to political power. For Christian right leaders, the gay rights movement and its so-called homosexual agenda are the prime culprits in the destruction of American society and culture. In the words of Focus on the Family founder James Dobson, the battle against gay rights is essentially a second civil war to put control of the U.S. government in the right hands, meaning those who reject gay rights. The religious right in America has employed a variety of strategies in its efforts to beat back the increasingly confident gay rights movement. One of those has been defamation. Many of its leaders have engaged in the crudest type of name-calling, describing LGBT people as perverts with filthy habits who seek to snatch the children of straight parents and convert them to gay sex. They have disseminated disparaging facts about gays that are simply untrue. Assertions that are remarkably reminiscent of the way white intellectuals and scientists once wrote about the bestial black man and his supposedly threatening sexuality. Associated anti-gay groups: Family Research Council, Westboro Baptist Church, American Family Association. Anti-immigrant. Anti-immigrant hate groups are the most extreme of the hundreds of nativist and vigilante groups that have proliferated since the late 1990s, when anti-immigration xenophobia began to rise to levels not seen in the United States since the 1920s. Although many groups criticize high levels of immigration and some, categorized by the Southern Poverty Law Center as nativist extremist groups, typically confront or harass individual immigrants and their supporters. Anti-immigrant hate groups generally go further by pushing racist propaganda. Most also subscribe to one of two conspiracy theories that have no basis in fact: the idea that Mexico has a secret plan as to reconquer the American Southwest. And another theory alleging that the leaders of Mexico, Canada and the United States are secretly planning to merge into a European Union-like entity that will be known as the North American Union.
It's absolutely a health threat. It's like a perfect pressure cooker. A culture medium if you really want to think about it in that manner, a 1,700-mile trek by foot, by train or however else they're coming up. They haven't been fed, they're dehydrated, their immune systems have basically taken a major hit, and you have to remember that they're young children, so they don't have a lot of reserve to begin with. And the illnesses are plentiful, ranging from the common cold to tuberculosis. Frontline health professionals that say that they're seeing people with active TB who are coughing up blood, who are short of breath, who are physically in the throes of active TB, and they are communicable. Not everybody shows symptoms right away, but they could have the disease before it actually manifests or shows itself. So they're just as infectious. They are putting them on commercial airliners. The TSA has been ordered to stand down and allow these children and adults to get on planes without ID. So they're arriving in Georgia, they're arriving in Maryland, and all over the country. In Maryland, there was an immigrant child who had TB, and the parents just got a letter from their school stating that their children have been exposed. There's going to be a lot more letters like that going out if parents are lucky. That is the most frightening part about TB. In the past they had treatments for it, but now it's become so difficult to treat that even as a healthcare worker provider like myself, we have to take tests every year and actually do questionnaires to make sure that we're not able to pass any diseases. And there's mumps, there's chickenpox, which most of us have been vaccinated for, but infants haven't yet, and the senior citizens are all at risk, or people with HIV or other immune-compromising diseases. Then you have all sorts of tropical diseases that I, as a healthcare professional, don't have a lot of facility with. People on the front line are really going to have to brush up on tropical diseases so that we know what we are looking at. Children are known vectors anyway. Runny noses, they play with each other, they touch each other and touch their noses. Just imagine how easily diseases could be transmitted through a family, for example. My problem with this is that the government has no regard for us as American citizens. My dad was an immigrant. I am not against legal immigration at all, but the way this is being done, it is being done haphazard, and it's all about winning at any cost, and it's political strategy without regard for health.
These things look mysterious. They look like they may be from the Middle East. Let's see. I think that it is a prayer rug. What the hell? What is this book? It says it is a Quran. I had better get these to the authorities. What? A nearly to English dictionary? We are in danger. I am going to look that book up to see what Urdu is, but it is trouble. I have got to get to the authorities. These are not just people from Central America coming. They are from the Middle East.
Hello, this is I am Quisling for WBAN Arnold News. Thanks for watching. Citing a 2008 law that allows Central American children an asylum hearing, the government announced today that many to most of the children will not be sent home. From the publication called The Hill. These children will, and other immigrants who are attempting to enter the country without documentation, will go through the immigration process. And that means their claims of asylum will be considered by an immigration judge and by asylum officials, White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest said. Republicans want to change the 2008 law so that immigrant children from Central American countries largely driving the surge at the border are treated the same as children from Mexico and Canada, who don't get an automatic hearing. Democrats on Capitol Hill, however, have raised warnings that such a change could harm children seeking safety in the United States. In the meantime, racist protests continue to spread over the United States. Talk show host Rush Limbaugh said that protests are spreading all over the country. Here's what you do not know, he said. There are towns all over America standing up to this invasion, just like they did in Merita, California. Well, Rush, I wish you would just shut up. In Westminster, Maryland, someone painted some graffiti, with misspelled words stating "No illegals here, no undocumented Democrats." State police are investigating this action as a hate crime. Apparently the vandalism was meant to protest a plan to house children in the Westminster facility where the graffiti is spray-painted. In Texas, a charitable group has been awarded a $50 million contract to house some of the migrant children in a facility that is the Palm Air Hotel and Suites. I am glad for this personally. It is about time. These young children deserve better than to be sent back to their home countries. America can do better than this.
This is Cindy Shane for WBAN News, reporting from Tempe, Arizona, where there is a growing concern about a militia group called the Amiga Group. I recently talked with authorities about them. Apparently a number of people have taken to the hills, hiding from the authorities and bringing in guns and weapons. It is believed that they are paranoid white Christian identity militia members. It is clear what their agenda is. They oppose bringing in these beautiful children that we are seeing coming into the United States. What we don't know is if they intend to overthrow the government or not. In the meantime, the children are being given comfortable living accommodations. It is a joyous time indeed. Nancy Pelosi has said that these children should be treated as the baby Jesus was, with reverence and respect and love. They are like the baby Jesus, sweet and pure. I am Cindy Shame and I will bring further updates as soon as possible.
This is an HHS and social services bill that is entitled Border Security to make it appear as if it's responding to the problem. But this supplemental bill is an admission by the president that he has no intention of solving this problem, and, indeed, that he anticipates it continuing indefinitely. Because he is simply asking for money to deal with those kids who are coming after they've been brutalized, rather than taking the necessary steps to prevent them from coming here in the first place, to prevent them from being victimized. This is the voice of the Omega militia again. I don't know if Americans realize it, but deadly diseases are coming into the United States along with the so-called children. Diseases such as measles, mumps and other common diseases are coming in, and tropical diseases are coming in as well. Den, yellow fever and chikungunya are among the diseases coming in. You are in danger. There may even be Ebola coming in. Many border guards, sympathetic to our cause, are telling us that they are catching scabies and lice as well. You are being manipulated by your government. We are not the enemy. We just want to live out our lives in peace, but we are being forced into a defensive position by our own government. Wake up, Americans, before it is too late. Hi, I am from another country and I have a great group that I would like you to join. We are like family. You are a little young, but that is okay.
What is this group called?
We call it Ms. 13. We are a big family that takes care of its own. You will start out at the bottom as we all do and work your way up.
What do I have to do?
Well, first you have to prove yourself. It is a tough life anywhere, and America will be no exception. We will set you up with a simple job and it will get more complex as you learn. You will have fabulous riches someday, and power beyond your imagination.
Where do I sign up?
When we move out of here, one of the boys will contact you and we will make our arrangements. Then you can start on your first job. You are a bit young, so we don't expect much out of you at first.
Okay, I will do it. Where can I get a tattoo like that?
One thing at a time. We will set you up. I am Julio.
We need to make sure that we take care of the children that are coming up here. They're not from Mexico, they're coming from further south. We need to make sure that when we're talking about these children, we need to treat them like they're our children or our grandchildren. If they're gonna be refugees, which several of them are going to be, we need to make sure that we have 1. We take care of them, and we create a pathway for citizenship and set up education for them, so they don't become the same problem that we're currently having in the Middle East, that they'll be terrorists a generation from now. Hello, this is I am Quisling for WBAN Arnold News. Thanks for watching. The governor of Texas, Rick Perry, has activated the National Guard. The activation is a response to tens of thousands of unaccompanied minors crossing the border into the U.S. The governor described it a force multiplier. I will not stand idly by while our citizens are under assault and little children from Central America are detained in squalor. We are too good of a country, Perry said. In the meantime, federal officials are struggling with health issues at the border detention camps. ABC News reports a breakdown of basic services at the Nogales, Arizona facility. Pneumonia, swine flu and many other diseases appear to be coming across the borders, leaving federal officials to struggle with the issue. From Real Clear Politics, President Obama has pledged that the U.S. will try to reduce deportations. This is good news for those of us who welcome these poor unaccompanied children to the U.S. The New York Times is reporting that President Obama wants to grant the green light to all Hondurans to come to the United States. The move would be intended to stem the tide of illegal immigrants coming to this country. In Texas, County Commissioner warned of an immigrant tsunami flooding into the county. Mark Reed is warning of the tsunami if the immigrants are housed in his county. Reed warned of diseases coming into the county and the strain on social services as well. Reed strongly urged residents to show up for a county meeting on the situation. From the Blaze, Senator Ted Cruz and Senator Jeff Sessions are warning that Obama may unilaterally grant amnesty to 6 million undocumented immigrants by the end of the summer. The two senators are raising the alarm about the situation, which could tip the balance of voting and political fortunes. WBAN News is dedicated to the well-being of the unaccompanied children who are coming here to the United States. Let's all pitch in to make their stay a happy and successful one.
This is Cindy Shing for WBAN News. This is a follow-up of my last story. I am currently in negotiations with the Omega militia to do an interview with a spokesman for them. They are moving into the hills in Arizona, Texas and places through the United States and have armed themselves to the teeth. The authorities seem to be unable to track them down. As a reporter, I cannot reveal their location. These militia members appear to be paranoid about an attack on the United States in the near future. They appear to be made up of Christians, Christian identity groups and more. I have talked to some of the local police chiefs and federal marshals and FBI, and they so far have been unable to track down most of the members. Many of these militia members are ex-special forces and trained in evasion. There seems to one overall theme, a paranoia about what they call the invasion of the United States. If you know any of these militia members, you are urged to dial 911 to turn them in. These innocent children are not the danger. It is militia members and Christian people who are polluting the minds of people with hate. I will return later with more information.
This is the Omega Militia. We have recently learned that Mexican troops in uniform have been seen on the U.S. side of the border. This is not acceptable. In addition, border guards have been fired upon. A militia member was also fired upon but not injured by a border guard. We have told you that the government is going against its citizens. This is proof. We need as many citizens on the border as we can get. Do everything you can to help out. Bring food and water and supplies if you can.
Hello doctor, what can I do for you?
I have something to tell you, and you need to tell others on the staff as well. Call a meeting of the nursing staff. We have been ordered not to speak about the diseases that have been brought in with the immigrants.
Speak to the press or media. Who is doing this?
We cannot speak to anyone about what is going on here, the conditions or the diseases. It is a federal contractor that has said this. If we speak about it, we can be fired or even go to prison.
I don't understand how this could happen here, but I will keep quiet.
Relate this to the other staff only. I know it is frightening, but we have to do it.
I am seeing immigrant children with all sorts of diseases. It looks like tuberculosis, scabies, measles, mumps, yellow fever and dengue.
Yes, I know. We are told not to speak to anyone about this. You must keep quiet about it.
But I am seeing dangerous diseases coming in. Someone must be told.
They are threatening us with long prison sentences if we talk about this. You need to stay silent.
I am going to talk to my elected representatives about this.
Do that and they will fire you and take away your nursing license. Our representatives have been ordered to keep quiet too. You are not seeing any diseases. These children are not sick.
This is insane. I cannot believe that this is happening.
I am sorry, sir. I cannot allow you to enter to see the children.
What do you mean? You cannot keep me out. I am a congressman. I will have your job.
No, I don't think so. You do not have the authority to override the Department of Homeland Security.
Who is in charge here? Who is responsible for this outrage?
I am sorry, sir, I am not allowed to answer your question. Please submit a request for.
This is infuriating. I am going to have someone's job. I am supposed to represent the people. You cannot keep me out.
Yes, I can, sir. I have the authority. You have no authority to tell me what to do.
I will put a press release out and you people will be roasted alive.
Hello Governor, I just got back the request you made for information on the immigrant children being brought into the state. You're not going to like it.
What did they say?
The government is refusing to provide any information to you about the immigrant children being brought into the state.
What? I am the governor of this state. How can this happen?
All I know, Governor, is that the federal government is saying that you are not authorized to have any of this information.
This is outrageous. I know that you are only the messenger. Draft a protest about this. Better yet, I will talk to the press. I simply cannot believe this is happening. I am sorry, sir, we cannot allow you access to the children.
What do you mean? We are Arizona state representatives. I am House Speaker Andy Tobin. He is Majority Whip Rick Ray. You cannot keep us out.
Yes, I can, sir. You have no right to be here.
Someone is going to pay for this outrage. I promise you that. You cannot keep us out.
Yes, I can, sir, and I did. I cannot believe that these people are not letting us in. What is going on here?
This is absolutely insane. I cannot believe this either.
I don't know about you, but I am going to raise hell about this.
Maybe we should get the sheriff to arrest them.
I doubt that even the sheriff or state police would dare take action against them.
You are probably right. We sat down with the President of the United States and we said to him, Mr. President, we want you to be as generous and broad and wise as the Republicans have been small and mean-spirited. We need to raise our voices, make ourselves citizens, sign up to vote and punish those who speak ill and criminalize children who come to our border.
Hello, this is I am Quisling for WBAN Arnold News. Thanks for watching. In Mexico, the infamous Beast train, which is a train that migrants jump onto on their way to the U.S., is being sped up from 6 miles per hour to 18 miles per hour in designated places. The move is designed to discourage migrants from climbing onto the train, an action that often causes death among them. Frequently, migrants misjudge the train and get crushed beneath it. Switching to world news, the Ebola outbreak continues to gather strength. So far, 4 countries are affected, but authorities insist that there is no cause for alarm. The Centers for Disease Control have assured WBAN News that even if Ebola should reach our shores, it will not spread like it does in Africa. It would be very difficult for it to get here anyway. The terror group called ISIS, or if you prefer Islamic State, continues its march across the Middle East. A group of 40,000 religious people have been trapped by ISIS on a mountain top. Arnold News will continue to monitor the situation. The president of Honduras is blaming the United States for the influx of undocumented immigrants into our country. Juan Orlando Hernandez has said that his country is dependent on what happens in the U.S. He said that a shared responsibility between the two countries to make Honduras more prosperous and peaceful would stem the tide of the flood of immigration into the United States.
I am Cindy Shane with WBAN Arnold News. We are seeing increased traffic here in regards to people opposing the children be brought to their cities. There seems to be growing opposition among the American public to the authorities bringing the children into the United States and resettling them in their towns and cities. Clashes between authorities and the public are increasing. In the meantime, these beautiful children are being moved into different cities and places all through the country. The authorities have said that they will not be intimidated by the public and will continue resettling the children. The recent protests by bigoted residents of Murrieta, California are an example. These protests were met by brave counter-protests. The resettling of the children is continuing and this is a happy day. There does seem to an increase in conspiracy theories out there, with people imagining dangers from 3-year-olds. It is just incredible and I cannot imagine why these people continue to think this way. My interview with the Omega militia member is in progress. I hope to have him in the studio soon. For WBAN Arnold News, I am Cindy Shane.
Many of our representatives have turned against the people. One representative, Pat Murphy, even had the boldness to threaten terrorism against the United States if we do not have blanket amnesty. We believe that there is a number of traitors in the U.S. government who are planning an attack and blaming it on the American people. The Omega militia is not aggressive and we intend no harm. However, when the fighting occurs, we will defend Old Glory.
Doctor, I just got a letter from Representative Phil Gingrey asking about immigrant diseases.
Read it to me, please. I am busy.
As you know, the United States is currently experiencing a crisis at our southern border. The influx of families and unaccompanied children at the border poses many risks, including grave public health threats. As a physician for over 30 years, I am well aware of the dangers infectious diseases pose. In fact, infectious diseases remain in the top 10 causes of death in the United States. Reports of illegal migrants carrying deadly diseases such as swine flu, dengue fever, Ebola virus and tuberculosis are particularly concerning.
Who is Phil Gingrey?
He is a Republican from Georgia.
I think that we will just ignore the letter, archive it and send out a form letter response.
Yes, doctor, I will at once.
Coming off the long journey they have been subjected to and then diseases some agents are contracting. We had one get bacterial pneumonia a couple days ago. A lot of our guys are coming down with scabies or lice. The Border Patrol is trying to play catch up, and we're having a lot of diseases coming in, and some we haven't seen in decades, and we are worried they'll spread throughout the United States, especially if they are being released and have the disease.
Hello, and this is Cindy Shane for Arnold News. I have successfully set up an interview with a member of the Omega militia, which is hiding out in the hills. Some are wondering why we are granting an interview with these militia members. Here at WBAN News we go out of our way to be fair in disputes. The militia member will be interviewed in an undisclosed location, and from what I am told will be wearing a mask to protect his identity. I am going to interview him to see what their views are on these precious children that are being brought into the country. I will not, however, indulge bigotry. I am told that militia members will be watching to make certain that we do not trick them and then turn them into the authorities. This will be a spooky and tricky interview for me. My sincere hope is that I can help turn around the bigotry of these unfortunate people. This is Cindy Shane for WBAN News. We are sitting here in an undisclosed location speaking to a member of the Omega militia to give them a voice that they claim they have not been given by the media in the border crisis discussion. I am Cindy Shane with an exclusive. Please tell the audience the purpose of your militia. Why have you turned against your own government and started arming your members? How many of you are there? Where are you?
First of all, Cindy, you did get everything backwards. We did not turn against the government, they turned against us. They are blaming white Christians, militias and other loyal Americans for the problems that they allow to happen.
How can you sit there and blame the government when it is you who are arming? You should disarm immediately and turn yourselves in. Then we can work together to solve the border problem by providing a path to citizenship.
You of course mean amnesty. These people are breaking the law and yet they get the royal treatment, while our own people are treated like garbage.
You cannot be serious. Whites have a natural advantage that no one else has. I mean, don't you feel any regret that whites held African Americans as slaves?
Many blacks did too.
Did what? What are you talking about?
They held people as slaves, and at a time whites outnumbered blacks as slaves.
So you don't feel any shame because you are white. Is that correct?
That is right. Now let's get back to the border situation. This country is in danger. We have found Muslim artifacts at the border, and it appears that ISIS has invaded through our open border.
Our border is secure. What are you talking about? These are just unfortunate, cute cuddly little children who don't have a home. They came here under a Bush era law, you know.
No, they did not. That law deals with human trafficking slavery to you and does not apply to the majority of cases.
How can you keep saying this? These are cute, cuddly children who have done no one any harm. You are just a bigot against people with brown skin.
None of us are against people with brown skin. There are many of Mexican descent in our militia, but they consider the U.S. to be their home, not Mexico, Guatemala or any of those other countries. You on the other hand are ignoring the fact that many of these children, as you call them, are in fact gang members like Ms. 13, and Ms. 13 is thought to be an ally of ISIS.
Now that sounds like a conspiracy theory. I have not heard that before.
Then start listening to the radio once in a while, on alternative stations where you can get the truth about what is happening. Diseases are coming in. Real terrorists are coming in. Wake up.
You mean Christians, right? The Army and DHS have both said that Christians are the biggest threat with their evangelism and homophobia, and so on.
There you go, putting words in my mouth. I said terrorists. That means Muslim extremists and maybe others who hate us and are coming here to harm us.
You are really bigoted against people of color. How dare you suggest that ISIS is coming in with these beautiful kids?
Like I said, we have found Muslim artifacts at the border, including a prayer rug. We are not bigots, we are patriotics trying to save our country.
That prayer rug you mentioned was a soccer jersey.
No, it was not. I saw it myself, but you people on the left are poisoning this country with your propaganda.
Well, the press said that it was an Adidas jersey, so it must be the truth. We must not distrust the press.
You are a bunch of crass liars and I don't trust a word out of your mouths.
A word out of our mouths. How dare you? You are the ones who are arming yourselves. We are just telling the public what we want them to know.
That is the problem. You tell the public what you want to them to know and think because you hate freedom. You hate representative government.
That is ridiculous. I vote.
I know, and you vote only for those who want only their point of view to be represented.
So what do you intend to do? Overthrow the government? Are you gearing up for war?
We are here to protect our country. There is going to be an attack, and when there is, we will be ready.
An attack? What do you mean?
What do you think we have been talking about, Cindy Shane? We are going to be attacked from within. Obama has been moving these so-called children into the cities and hiding them from our representatives.
Are you a conspiracy theorist? They would never hide these children from our representatives.
They already have. Governors, mayors and congressmen have been denied access.
Access to what? These are harmless children.
There you go, Cindy Shane. Schools are seeing adults going to class with children, adults with gray hair. Gangs have been recruiting from within the centers. Oh, and I want to know another thing. Why are these children costing the taxpayers $250 to $1,000 per day and being put up in luxury hotels? That is outrageous.
You are just a bigoted, mean old man. These are kind, gentle kids. How can you turn away from those big brown eyes?
Because I know that some of the children that are being hidden from us may well be Muslim extremists planning on strapping bombs on children and blowing up schools.
They would not do that. This is America. We are safe here. That is overseas.
Not anymore. It is here because Obama has opened the door. Now Obama wants to grant amnesty to 5 million.
Reagan granted amnesty to 3 million.
True, but the liberals lied to him and told him that the border would be secured. They did not secure the border and now we are in big trouble.
I just told you that the border is secured.
Right, and that is why the illegals are pouring across it in record numbers. Our country is under attack.
There is no need for your sarcasm. Anyway, we need to go. Personally, I hope the government catches all of you. You are the threat, not these children.
I hope someone gets in your head and straightens it out before it is too late.
Okay, there you have it. The Omega Militia on the Cindy Shame Show. I am Cindy Shame. Now back to Arnold News from WBAN.
This is the Omega Militia. You need to watch out for your children. We believe that they are in grave danger. The Islamic radicals that we are facing are a danger to us all. We have men on the border but are outnumbered and outgunned. We need your help. Your country needs you. If you can do anything to help, then please do. We are in the hills and the valleys. We don't want our country to perish. This is your fight too. If you don't do something, our country may soon be gone. Americans, this is your last chance. Obama is moving these so-called children into the cities and it is impossible to tell exactly who all of them are. Get out with your cameras and photograph them. Learn who they are. Yes, many really are children, but there are bad people who would think nothing about strapping bombs on them. The lives of your children depend on you. We are here, and we will defend Old Glory. We hope you will too. You have been betrayed. We are soon going to have to leave this location for our own safety. It is believed that the federal government is closing in. This is the Omega Militia signing off.
Hello, this is I am Quisling for WBAN Arnold News. Thanks for watching. Well, progress is continuing in placing the young children into the United States. Many are coming into our town and going to What's that? It sounds like a bomb. I am going to investigate. Excuse me. The school is in flames. It looks like a war zone. WBAN News will stay on the line as long as possible. What are you doing? Put away that gun.
You Americans are fools. You thought we could never attack you on your own soil. Then your own leaders betray you and you do nothing.
Who do you think you are? Who are you? I thought we were friends.
I would never be friends with an infidel like you. I let you believe what you wanted to believe. You call us ISIS or Islamic State. We are the servants of Allah.
How did you get into the country? What is happening here?
Your own leaders brought us in. They thought that we would be content with power sharing and would be happy to do their dirty work for them, but they were sadly mistaken. We brought in soldiers from Guatemala, Honduras and El Salvador. We are blowing up your power stations and taking out your food lines. We will starve you into converting to Islam. Praise Allah. Kill all infidels.
Who are you? What is going on here?
We are ISIS. You are an infidel. I realize that you have assisted us by way of your reporting, but you are still an infidel fool. The communists used to call you useful idiots. We are going to kill or convert all of you. Praise be to Allah.
So what is it that you want? An exclusive? I can call Cindy Shane. She will set up an interview.
You Americans are so stupid, it is incredible. You will convert or die.
Convert to what?
Islam, you American fool. Now you die.
I have a report from the field. We are taking heavy losses. We are fighting not only the militarized police but others too.
What others? Who is the enemy?
There are soldiers from Guatemala, Mexico, El Salvador and Honduras. We think they came in with the border surge. Maybe that explains why they were hiding them. The others are ISIS. People are sick out there. It seems to be a virus. It looks like the flu but it is worse. Many cannot fight back. It appears that it infected people through the flu vaccine. We are trying to get word to the military but only a few units are responding.
I don't understand something. You said they are ISIS but most speak Spanish. Do you have an explanation?
We believe that Middle Eastern extremists have learned Spanish, enough to communicate and be passed off as Central Americans. We have reports that the political class underestimated ISIS and are fleeing.
Thank you for the report. These are dark days for this country. So now you police want to join us?
Yes, we are Americans too, you know.
Is it not true that you have been fighting for the federal government against us? We have been fighting you and yours for some time.
Maybe you don't know. ISIS has taken most of the country. The federal government has mostly fled from the country. They have left. The traitors within the government underestimated ISIS. We have no more leaders in the federal government. Most police and even the DHS is joining the resistance. There is a problem, however. Orders to the military are not getting through. We cannot even contact the fleet. Some units are joining the resistance but most have no orders. We also know that with the US out of the way that Russia is moving in Europe, and with Ebola out of control, it may be hard to get the fleet home to help.
So tell me exactly what happened.
Traitors within the government sneaked in foreign troops through the open border and into the cities. ISIS was brought in too. That explains why public officials were barred from seeing the children. They also put a disease called chikungunya in the flu vaccine. They dismissed it as the flu. It has disabled many people in the country. Then they struck. They disguised bombs as laptops and blew up May schools, causing panic, and then attacked the trucking lines. With the cities starving and sick, the people were willing to deal even with ISIS in order to eat. ISIS came in as saviors with their allies MS-13. This is why we are asking to join you. We are sorry for what happened but we are all Americans. We need to fight together. There is no other side anymore. The foreign troops on our soil are the enemy. This is World War III. We are trying to assemble a new Continental Congress. You will be in charge of the army until the regular troops arrive. If we can just get news to the fleet we can turn the tide.
We can use all the help that we can get. Bring on your people. They are our people. This country will rise again.
Well, I'll be. It is Cindy's shame. I cannot believe that you would actually show your face around here.
I have some information that is vital to the resistance.
The last time I knew, you were on the side of the enemy. Perhaps I should shoot you right now. I don't know if we can ever trust you.
Please. I did not know what was going on. I want to help. I know of a jamming device that is preventing orders from getting to the troops.
Okay, I will take you to our leader and you can tell it to him. Remember that I don't like you, so I will be watching you all the time.
My second in command says that you have some information for me. I don't like you any more than he does, but I am listening. You have 3 minutes. Use them wisely.
There are some devices, one of them close by, that have been jamming signals of all kinds. Orders and information cannot get through to our troops.
How do you know about this?
I am a communications expert, remember?
Tell me the rest.
I found one of these stations out in the woods. They were left there by the federal government. They were not built by ISIS. They are unguarded, and have their own power supplies. Many of these have been passed off as fake cell towers.
What do you propose that we do?
Send one man with me with explosives. We will destroy it, and try to get word to the other groups to blow these things sky high.
All right. I will send someone with you. You will have snipers on you at all times, so if you are thinking about trying something, forget it.
I understand. I am telling the truth. You will see. This is what I was talking about. I have studied the equipment. They are sending out signals that everything is normal. The military simply is not getting the word.
How can this be? What about ships and planes spreading the news?
With the war in Europe and disease, the information getting through is scanned, and the military does nothing without orders. Destroy this thing, and tell your groups to destroy the others.
You have served your country with honor. You will be welcome at headquarters. We can use your help. I will set the bombs and blow this thing up.
Today we stand a country conquered, but not defeated. We were betrayed by our leaders, and despite warnings from the best of us, they succeeded in their plans. They, however, underestimated the ruthlessness of the enemy. We have gathered here and in other places around the country to fight back. The fight we are facing is brutal. Many have died, and many more will die. But to not fight also means to never go home. Our enemy knows two things: convert or die. They hate everything that has to decency and honesty. They hate freedom, representative government, and self-reliance, and everything that makes us Americans. They murder women and children without remorse. They kill anyone who will not convert. 1,000 years of darkness await us if we don't act. For all our sakes, and the sake of those suffering under the repression of the enemy, we must fight back. A long time ago General MacArthur said, "People of the Philippines, I have returned." Today I say to America, people of America, we have returned. By the grace of God, we will be free again. We will strike at the enemy's heart. You can defeat a nation, but you cannot defeat the American spirit. We will fight back. We will win.
And they did fight back. It took many years and much suffering, but America would be free again. That is another story.
I still remember the day when ISIS came and I dodged bullets, and eventually reunited with my dog. This place is not exactly as I remember it. I was a child then, and now I am a woman. I knew I had to come back here, and I did, only to find this monument. And my dog? He is still chasing things, except this time he is only chasing squirrels, not terrorists. Come here, boy. Leave the squirrels alone. You are a naughty dog. Bad boy. Heel. A few months after the start of World War III, a news reporter from a TV station once scored this Benedict Arnold news led a militia group to a jamming station which had been used to disrupt communications to the armed forces. Originally reported as fake cell phone towers, these stations sent out fake information to our domestic and overseas military bases. As the jamming stations were destroyed, our military was able to get orders, attacking enemy ships, convoys and countries bringing in the invaders. This monument was erected in honor of Cindy Shame, the reporter who first vilified the Amiga militia, and then aided it in the cause of defeating ISIS.